The United States, France just edged by Wales, and South Africa with the only blowout so far over Uruguay, 35 points to 0. Nigel.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, looking at those, 4 of them, you know, including the last one, have been so close. It just shows now any coach will tell you that you just cannot predict. But clearly, when you get a side like the one coming up, Brazil, well, you don't expect too much. They haven't played in the sevens for 10 years. Well, there's the ball, obviously being very...
They'll be locked up in the vault.
Absolutely. Isn't that tremendous? You know,
I think the players are having such a grand time here. And don't get us wrong, because they are not out all night. They are very much to bed early. We know that the management team is taking care of that, but it is spectacular for these young men from around the world to come here to Las Vegas and enjoy all the bright lights, all the grandness of the hotels, etc.
Well, you never know what to expect in Las Vegas, do you?
No, never ever.
That's great, but certainly the city has taken the game of rugby sevens to its heart, that's for sure, and it's proven even tonight by the fact there are just 2 rounds of the tournament, and yet there's a good crowd here. Well, this is a new thing, a welcome return to Brazil to the World Sevens Series after a gap of 10 years. Brazil will be hosting, of course, the first ever Olympic Sevens in Rio 2016. But now they're straight in the deep end, facing one of the favourites for this title, surely England, who have won 15 cup finals but never in the USA Sevens. So there they are, familiar colours from soccer, that's for sure. All new to the HSBC Sevens with one exception. But this lot, well...
they're not new.
They're not new, they're not new. Continuity of player squad, just one newcomer introduced. Tom Mitchell there, he's the only new player of this season. Oxford University, made an excellent debut in Wellington, 22-year-old, but otherwise, well, watch out, because you're going to see some wonderful running from number 4, Dan Norton, who's really the current star, 65 tries in 20 tournaments. And Brazil, not familiar names, but there is one guy who's actually played 10 years ago for Brazil, the captain Daniel Gregg, a 31-year, must be very, have some tremendous stamina. He played for Brazil in the World Series in Mar del Plata 2002. That's the last time that Brazil played in the series. Based on the current top club, 5 from San Jose in the southeast of Brazil, where the game is based. Well, we wish them well, and they've got a damn good coach in the person of Martin Schusterman anyway, an Argentinian, and some of us will remember that in the USA Sevens in Los Angeles 2004, he was in the cup-winning side. A great welcome to Brazil.
Well, they're going from the round ball back to the oval ball now, and we'll just see how well they can do, and they've got some time. Well, Nigel, as you know, in this hemisphere, there is great talk about how Brazil, you know, will host this event, and they're next door. They've got a great competitor next door in Argentina.
Well, I was given a very interesting statistic. In 1963, there were 4 rugby clubs in Brazil. In 1988, there were 35 rugby clubs, and today there are 230. And that just tells you the explosion and the excitement of the country, which is going to host rugby sevens in the Olympics. Well, so here we go, England the white. In case you wondered.
Association football is so big in Brazil.
Yes.
How about that to start the match?
Well, that is not the perfect start, is it? Out on the full, free kick to the opposition. But it's an important game for these young England players too, because they're all wanting to be in the start lineup. And so Coach Ben Ryan has really given his, if you like, some of the underdogs, so to speak, their chance to prove it. Good running from Felipe Claro. Good start by Brazil. Menuti driving up the middle. Well, what a lively start for the new men. Taken by the captain, Daniel Gregg, and this is Felipe Claro. They're certainly throwing everything at England right from the start. A lively start, terrific.
Very feisty are the Brazilians out of the gate, with the exception of that bad pass.
7th in the Pan Am Games, but many changes from that. But it really is a significant growth of rugby, particularly in the south and southeast, based on Sao Paulo. About 10,000 players, as I said, 230 clubs these days. A game which started in 1888.
Fine on the hooker.
Their very first rugby. All amateurs, of course,
Scrum.
at this
Crouch.
stage.
Interesting to watch this match too, because you're talking about the young English players. England very much in this competition now with the victory already. They've won in the United States back in 2006.
Offside,
You and I saw them win in San
offside.
Diego.
Yeah. And they, well, in amongst the top elite at the moment. Who would dare to predict who might win this tournament? Well, if you want to have a bet, we're in the right city.
That's right. You can bet on anything you want.
Marcus Watson, who plays the fly half role with the new boy of this season, Christian Lewis Pratt.
29 points to 12 in the final.
Wait for them to come in to form line
Of the
up.
Saracens club.
Open. Open up.
Series.
Open up. Open
Well,
up.
Brazil.
Come closer. Closer.
You know, when you saw this matchup and they come onto the pitch, you'd figure about a minute and a half into the game there'd be some scores. We're 2.5 in. Good bit of work on defense by the
Tremendous
Brazilians.
tackle. Daniel Gregg setting the standard. 31-year-old captain. John Brake for England. And now this is Watson. Well, no holes in the defence yet. Cracknell across to Brake. England perhaps an overlap chance. Drifting across. Tom Mitchell, he's the new boy. John Brake. Cracknell at pace. Totally committed he is.
England across the line twice, but somehow Brazil reassembles the defense.
His teammate says he's dangerous in training.
Push back. Play
Quickly
the bounce,
taken.
that's it.
It's a long feed to Dan Norton. Not even he can get round on the outside. But it's going to be a penalty, not back 10 metres. Tui Kamiti from Samoa is
Not 10.
the referee. He was used to be a college teacher, but now he's
Here.
the man who looks after the refereeing and is a training officer in Samoa. So, 5 metres out, John Brake in the midfield, playing the halfback role. Whips around Marcus Watson, and on the outside, well, distinctive boots like the Kenyans have, and Dan Norton adds yet another try. That's number 66.
Well, it was a little too much to ask for Brazil to keep reassembling that defense. They simply condensed and then sent it back out wide. Interesting, England had some line breaks in the middle, but they could not score. They did go around to the edge.
Come forward.
And as you see there, Dan Norton with the first try of the match.
Well, it's taken England pretty length of time to score. The conversion is good from Watson.
Now Dan Norton with the first try for England. They go ahead 7-0, and certainly no surprise. Just as you mentioned, the time it took to get to this point.
Schusterman certainly got these guys pretty fit, I have to say. Oof, that looked a bit high on Nito there. Penalised for not standing on the feet, as you heard the referee.
You can do all the good work you want.
Tom Mitchell went forward. Sharp refereeing that. There's the young man from Oxford University.
Second time that after a penalty, the Brazilians been pinged for not being back 10.
One doesn't want to be patronising, but Brazil are showing that they know this game already. As I said, straight in the deep end. Cracknell held. Break, easy, Mitchell, score.
Now the clinic begins. But again, the Brazilians will take a look at this tape and say, what about these two penalties? And again, this silly opportunity given to England. And England, of course, a very well-polished side. And in championship competition, just takes it outside and scores the easy try.
This guy played particularly well in the varsity 15-a-side game at Twickenham, the Oxford versus Cambridge. And happily Oxford won it.
But you're supposed to be somewhat neutral.
Not when it comes to that.
I got you.
10 seconds.
Wonderful close-up, isn't it?
Yeah.
See the see the sweat on his forehead as Marcus
Second
Watson.
time's been right for not 10. Next time's going to be about not 10 meters back.
You know, it's interesting when people hear about sevens in these 7-minute halves. Well, how much energy can you actually burn in 7 minutes when you're covering such a large piece of real estate?
I know, it's almost deceptive, you know. It's a full-size pitch, well, almost, and you know, these guys are 7 as opposed to 15.
Yeah, make a tackle, get up.
Yeah,
Handle the ball, get up.
players
tackle.
players are full, players are forward, players are back. Got to do both.
Oh, the penalties are undoing the Brazilians.
They are, exactly so.
So England up 12-0 already, and again, this is the third opportunity they've had where they kick deep inside Brazilian territory.
Well, Cracknell often forces his way through, but they've nailed him every time. However, he's taken 2 or 3 men, and Norton's on the left.
Wow.
Well, he's certainly been the current star of the England squad, the last and this season too. There's John Brake. Good to see him back in action. He broke his finger, had a bit of a layoff.
Those 2 tries to either side of the pitch are almost identical. Brake.
Very true.
To Norton, and Dan showing off. He scored a try at both corners, saying hello to this crowd that's growing here in Las Vegas tonight. And Nigel, they're expecting a full house for the Saturday and Sunday.
Well, isn't that encouraging? It's terrific.
It's wonderful.
Half time, it's 17-0 plus or minus, or not minus, plus 2 if he gets it needed. 17-0 is right.
Sam Boyd Silver Bowl, they play gridiron here on artificial turf, and they've actually rolled in a month ago winter rye grass that you would have on a golf course in the States, so it's a pretty darn good surface.
It's fantastic, isn't it? I had a quick wander on it. Well, Martin Schusterman there, who was a real star at sevens, very fast he was too, played for Argentina 2003 to 05, now in charge of Brazil with Virgilio Franceschi Neto. Well, the great thing for Brazil of late has been that their first ever win over Argentina happened on February the 5th, 2011 in the South American Championships. That was the first win over Argentina for men's rugby since 1936. I was going to ask you were in charge of the parade last night, and I gather it was well received.
Yeah, they had a ball down there. Yeah. You know, it's interesting too, Nigel. We're talking about this, it's called the Fremont Street experience. And they took the downtown area and they put a dome in. So it's all weather, all you can have. And I just remember the first year we were here 2 years ago, there was some spottiness out there. Last night was a scene of joy. Everyone had a ball. The Samoans were there in force. But yeah, I did have a wonderful time serving as master of ceremonies, and the captains were well received. Brilliant stuff. And one of the interesting things along that dome I sprang is that they have a parade, and the flag of your country follows you down on the dome.
And I'm not being a creep, but I was delighted to hear the England management saying to you how much they enjoyed your presentation.
You know, I was, having English blood in me myself.
Yeah, I know.
And growing up here in the New World, I was particularly delighted that they gave that compliment. But
Well,
I had a great
go.
time. It's great fun. Great fun.
17-0, respectable already by Brazil. Now maybe the extra training camps that England have had all high, but yeah, took him in the air. Can't do that. Luckily, no problems like spear tackling.
No, the penalty count's getting away for Brazil to even stay in this.
It's undermined them, hasn't it? You're right.
Just
Break to Cracknell. Oh dear. Powell, well, tricky pass, a bit
Lost
hard.
and offside.
So here's a chance, Brazil inside the England half.
don't forget that England took, what, 3.5 minutes to score in this match?
Gustavo Beiros from Curitiba. That's the capital of Paraná. Away by Duaribe. Hands of Coriandro. Possession is what they need. Well, they've got a bit here, a bit of sequence. Claro again.
But that English defense stifling. And now, even with the possession, England moving the Brazilians back.
But they're making them work hard, aren't they, the Brazilians here? Flipped back by Fiore, a bit loose, but well recovered. This guy's a live wire, isn't he? Claro into the hands of Neto. Alfidio Gobi Neto, one of the
Out.
San Jose places. That's an aerospatial centre. They make rockets there. Well, they need a rocket here to get through England. Minute and a half, second half. They've still got the ball. Not conceded since half-time. They're not wilting yet. Up gets Dawai Elibi. He works in the aerospatial rocket factory. San Jose, just outside São Paulo, the current champions of rugby in Brazil. Here's Claro, another from São Paulo.
The rocket on the field wears number 4 with a white shirt on.
That is
for 2 tries.
On the other side. Yeah.
Leading Brazil 17 points to 0.
And the rocket's going to get a touch right now.
On the outside, here he goes.
Yeah.
There's Norton, all the way.
Yeah. That'll be 3 tries when he decides to set it down.
You called it well there, the rocket.
Just too much speed. What a brilliant man to have it on your wing in a 7s match.
And isn't it lovely to watch? Sort of athleticism, his balance. Well, this 23-year-old throwed his lot in with 7s, and you can see why.
44 tries last season. 8 in London. You were there for that. That must have been just spectacular.
It was, and I remember when he scored the winning try, London 2009. A win over New Zealand is not that frequent in a final. New Zealand happened to win 2/3 of all the finals they appear in. Not a bad option, not a bad option at all.
Brilliant
man
kick
inside now then, it's a sprint here. Good support coming from Coliandro.
Hugo Gregg with the break.
Great work there by the captain, Daniel Gregg.
Penalty.
And they've got a penalty anyway. Well, the crowd would have loved them to have got on the board. They nearly did.
Well, they've got possession. It's a good one. And a bit of a hard rock in England. Assess the penalty.
They've taken it quickly. Has Gregg, goes to the line, looking for glory, just short. Diving in is Claro. I think it's a try. He's got it. Well, they've deserved it. Felipe Claro, and a moment of history for this 25-year-old scrum half from São Paulo Athletic Club. They have scored their first try ever against England in 7's World Series. 10 years since they last scored, and that is well earned.
You know, you sometimes are cynical when you watch professional athletes, but not the heart of Brazil tonight. They would not quit, and they come back and make a statement with the try. Lovely.
Well, I should think Martin Susterman is delighted. Okay, so England are going to win, and they're going to win reasonably comfortably, but Brazil have been in the contest from the start. And all credit to them. Just 2 minutes left of this game. 24-5.
Trailing 5 points to 24.
There's some time to go, obviously, Nigel, but again, that margin there isn't what it could have been.
Correct.
But, you could have been literally expected a 30, 44, 45-point difference.
Yeah, and you can, and both of us have seen in the past 60-point winners, haven't we? And no more these days.
No, it's very hard. Look at this.
Rodwell
right back with it.
Didn't get it clean, and it's into the hands of Elpidio Neto again. Slipping is Barreiros. The penalty, though.
Yeah, the lack of rotation. It was interesting watching the Brazilians. It's not natural. They saw the ball stuck there. No one came in to take care of it.
Here's Claro. Now it's Neto. It's been a great second half, this, by Brazil. And Fiore just come on as replacement. Another from the San Jose club. One of the quicker men.
He's making his debut in this competition, like
11 of them.
Yes.
There he is, Martin Schusterman. Lives in Argentina, and he travels up from Buenos Aires to all the training camps in Rio. backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And I think he's doing a pretty good job on the evidence of this performance here.
And I think most of us know Portuguese and Spanish aren't that similar.
Good point. England, they'll want something to satisfy Ben Ryan, who will probably have some questions over this. But the positives really have been from Brazil here. This is Cracknell. They'll want to wrap it up with a final try. It may well happen here. Tom Powell has got to go the whole way himself. Wants to show Ben Ryan that he can run, and he can. Big, ranging player, 6'6", 16 stone.
The photograph we have down in the end zone again, too, in the try zone, rather, is that we have 2 Brazilians and 2 English. Again, they did not stop. They did not quit. They pursued all the way to the end.
Good run, this. Offload by Cracknell. He says, it's all yours, boy.
Yeah, we'll watch.
Well, it's only a year ago he made his debut, Tom Powell. But already he's notched up 22 tries, and he'll deserve a little bit of a rest after that one. 75-yard run, chased all the way, look, by the captain, Daniel Gregg. And that will be the last play of this very encouraging performance by Brazil. Despite that margin, Brazil are back in the fold, and we're pleased to see it.
Early round action underway. Brazil getting their first taste, but the big one coming up, the big rivalry, New Zealand-Australia. It is getting late here. Sam Boyd Stadium, it's dark, the floodlights have gone on, and a nice little atmosphere building here on Friday night in Las Vegas. Samoa, Japan to come. It'll be a first look at Samoa, who performed so admirably here last year. A lot of people's expectations to be favorites here.
Well, they played every moment of every game last week for New Zealand when they won in Wellington to Tama, and we'll be back in action in just a moment when New Zealand takes on Australia. Well, the other guy on the New Zealand team, it's rather surprising that he's not playing in this game, but here he is, the IRB Sevens World Series leading try scorer, Frank Halai. He'll be coming off the bench in this game, the first game for New Zealand. Look at the big fend and the enormous strength in the run for Frank Halai. 24 tries in 4 tournaments this season. So across the Tasman, they are rivals at all sports, New Zealand and Australia. Here they meet in the Sevens Pool A match in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. And it's been a bit one-way traffic in the history of this one. You see New Zealand leading 37 wins to 7 over Australia. But of course,